Now that you have understood all about industrial control basics, let's proceed to Module 2, Industrial Cyberthreat Landscape. By the end of this module, you will be able to identify the different types of threats, list the common types of ICS cyber events, and memorize the timeline for major industrial cybersecurity events. Let us now briefly look at each industrial cyber threat topic. Industrial operators must note common adversarial tactics such as phishing and malware, but they also should understand emerging tactics designed explicitly to compromise ICSs. Although several ICSs use proprietary devices and software, custom-built malware designed to pierce ICS environments such as Stuxnet is becoming very common. So how exactly are threat actors managing to enter vulnerable ICSs? It depends on the maturity of your cybersecurity program. For example, attackers have low-hanging fruit to pursue if an industrial organization doesn't include basic change monitoring in a cybersecurity program. Attackers can remain inside the industrial network undetected, exfiltrating data and gaining access to privileged accounts. While on the flip side, a similar organization with a highly mature program that monitors its devices and networks increases the stakes for adversaries, wherein the initial access and surveillance operations will be detected before damage can be done. While intentional outsider threats have severe risks to public safety, not all cyber attacks carried out inside an ICS are the stuff of action movies. According to the 2019 Data Breach Investigations Report, 30% of cybersecurity incidents were due to internal threats. Internal threats can occur from insiders being paid to engage in espionage or unhappy employees aiming to inflict financial losses or operational damage. Also, in many cases, cyber events occur due to simple human error. Accidental insider threats can seem like an employee configuring the wrong switch, which results in downtime or even leaking sensitive information by way of a password unconsciously left in the open. In December 2015, more than 230,000 Ukrainians across 3 different regions suddenly had to face electricity loss on a cold winter evening. A single, coordinated attack had interrupted 30 public power substations. The attack may have shocked the utility company, but it was due to careful plotting for the duration of 6 months on the part of the cyber criminals. They used a combination of phishing, keylogging, denial of service, VPN hijacking, firmware modification, and more. The common types of ICS cyber events include destruction of data, manipulation of data, theft of data, denial of service, masquerading of identity, escalation of privilege, human error, and equipment failure. Here you can see the anatomy of the Ukraine power grid attack. Listed here are the major industrial cybersecurity events. Let us look at each event one by one. Iranian nuclear plant. Tactic. The Stuxnet worm at first penetrated the plant through a USB stick, later, it targeted control software used to program the operation of the uranium centrifuges. Outcome. Stuxnet successfully disrupted the operation of Iran's nuclear program by collapsing up to 20% of their uranium enrichment centrifuges. Energy sector operations in the US, Switzerland, and Turkey. Tactic. The group Dragonfly was formed in 2011 but became highly active in 2017, using remote access tool, RAT, malware through Trojanized software, spearphishing, and watering hole attacks. Outcome. Dragonfly gained unauthorized remote access to extract sensitive information, such as passwords, from ICS systems. Multiple ICS targets in energy as well as pharmaceuticals. Tactic. The group Energetic Bear used the watering hole and phishing attacks for espionage and surveillance. Outcome. Energetic Bear used Havx malware to compromise PLCs by backdooring. Ukraine's electrical grid. Tactic. Indestroyer is a malware type that took control over electricity substations and circuit breakers. Outcome: In-destroyer attacks successfully stopped power service, a blackout that affected more than 230,000 people. Saudi Arabian petrochemical plant. Tactic: Attackers used Triton malware to get through physical safety systems. They moved laterally through the network consistently over a year, renaming files and mimicking common processes until they accessed the ICS Safety Instrumented System (SIS). Outcome: The attackers' mission looked like an explosion in the plant, but ultimately they were only able to wipe numerous company hard drives. Over 200,000 entities in energy, oil and gas, manufacturing, petrochemical, and others in over 150 nations. Tactic: Adversaries used WannaCry in a ransomware attack to exploit a Windows vulnerability and encrypt data. Outcome: An attack with a serious global impact, WannaCry, resulted in some major automakers pausing plant operations. Here is a quick recap of what we covered. Industrial operators must note common adversarial tactics such as phishing and malware, but they also should understand emerging tactics designed explicitly to compromise ICSs. Intentional outsider threats can pose severe risks to public safety. According to the 2019 DBIR, 30% of cybersecurity incidents were due to internal threats. Internal threats can occur from insiders being paid to engage in espionage or unhappy employees aiming to inflict financial losses or operational damage. Accidental insider threats can seem like an employee configuring the wrong switch, which results in downtime or even leaking sensitive information by way of a password unconsciously left in the open. The common types of ICS cyber events are destruction of data, manipulation of data, theft of data, denial of service, masquerading of identity, escalation of privilege, human error, and equipment failure.